welcome to Dive Bomb F1 Season 5. We passed the halfway mark of the season and we head to two glorious tracks which are really exciting for racing and great to overtake. It is, of course, the Red Bull Ring, the Austria Ring, the A1 Ring, as you know to love, but obviously we know it as the Red Bull Ring. Welcome to Austria, and then we got Silverstone in just, well, in about half an hour, 40 minutes time. 35% race for Austria, 25% race for Silverstone. My name is GeForce, one of your commentators, well, your only commentator throughout this evening's race. Apologies for starting late. I did have a stream to start with, but the internet is playing havoc, and I do apologise if the stream drops out. If the stream does drop out, then I'll probably have to stop streaming and record it. So there will be a commentated stream. Whether it will be live or not, you'll have to wait and see. But we do apologise if we don't get the stream out. But qualifying is just about to come to an end around Austria. Hopefully the stream doesn't play havoc, please, because otherwise I will kill myself. Only joking, of course. But only have 11 drivers on the circuit right now. Which means that we're still gonna have hopefully a good race, fingers crossed. Now, if you're wondering why Bazza has retired from the session, he's got a quali ban because during one of the qualifying sessions last week in Spain, he blocked, I think it was Chris Johnson in qualifying, so Bazza ended up getting reported, and so he ended up unfortunately getting a quali ban. But Bazza had a good week last week. He won in Spain, his first race win in Dive Bomb F1, which I have to say is incredible. So a big well done to him. And of course, Ryan Berry winning his first ever Dive Bomb F1 win in Canada after Darky bottled it. So I started off, of course, as the Austria Ring. Go for a little bit more about the circuit history a little bit later on, because, as you've probably noticed, there is lots of action happening at the moment. So, who's going to be the first driver to set a final lap of the session then? With 33 seconds to go on the clock. I will have to, of course, check my stream on the left on my phone to see if it drops frames. Again, if it drops frames, I do apologise. So, Deck, of course, is feeling quite confident around here. Quite a few drivers were asking me for setups. Tut tut. Get your own setups. Let's just saying, I'm not allowed to give my own setups. I'll get told off for that. Anyway, Deck, of course, wants to win a championship this season, even though he keeps saying that he wants to win the constructors, not the drivers. But he's definitely in the running. He's go second fastest. We've got the McLaren of Jack Craig up to the line. He goes third. Not too bad for him. Of course, most of these laps earlier on were set in the wet conditions. Jake goes fourth fastest. Then we got Scottish Goat up to the line in the Alpine. He goes seventh. He could not improve. Then we got Gamer James, who's improved quite a lot this season. Let's see what he can manage. He goes sixth. Someone else just improved. Sheckways goes second. Darky remains in P1. What could Tony do? The Miami race winner. He goes... It's hard to tell. Seventh fastest, there we go. Seventh fastest for him. So we'll run through your order. Of course, only 10 drivers have set lap times because, of course, we had Bazza, had a qualifying Bazza. Let's go through your 10 runners at the moment. So I'm going to check if I tweeted the right links. Otherwise, I'm going to be made like a complete fool. Yes, I have tweeted the right link. That is good. And it's good to see quite a few of you sticking out as well. Great to see him. Thank you for your patience. So, Darky is on pole this evening from Wade in second, Deck in third, Jordan in fourth, Jake in fifth, Gamer James in sixth, Tony in seventh, Jack Craig eighth, Scottish Goat ninth, and Kai in 10th position, and Baz in 11th. And with only 11 drivers racing this evening, it gives more opportunity for drivers to score points, which should help them in the championship. So, a little bit more about this track. It was originally called the Austria Ring, dated back to the 1970s. It then took a little bit of a break after 1975 due to an accident, prompting a lot of changes to the circuit. adding chicane to slow speeds. But then it returned in 1997. We named the A1 ring, designed by Herman Tilke. And as you may not know, Herman Tilke has designed quite a lot of F1 tracks to this day. It's actually Herman Tilke's first F1 creation. And the A1 ring hosted 7 Austrian Grand Prix between 1997 and 2003. But then after 11-year hiatus after 2003, the Austrian Grand Prix returned back at Austria. And it was the start of the hybrid era as well. And we've been here to this day. And of course, it is absolutely glorious. One team that will be happy that one driver is doing well is Red Bull. Because of course, it's named the Red Bull ring. And Darky, of course, needs to, I think, really improve on his race pace, because there's been quite a few races where he's really good at one lap pace, but he just needs to focus on getting the tyres to a good window. Don't overdo it earlier on. There might be some occasions where you really get into putting yourself into like 90%, not 100%. That honestly is my advice on that one. But let's get into the race then. It is a sunny day here in Austria, and good timing. We're about to get underway. The 5 red lights, and it is go, go, go. Austria, even start between Darky and Wade. Another person that's got a good start is James. He's already up into 4th place. Can he hold on to it? No, Jake gets 4th as well. So quite a few people gaining places as one person has dropped back. That was Kai. Kai has had a bit of a moment, but so far top 3 running away with it. Let's see how they do towards turn 3. If they get it wrong, this could cause chaos, but they all seem to be A-okay right now, apart from Kai. So we got some side-by-side action happening towards turn 4, the main big action zone here. Scottish Goat getting past Jordan. Really great move from him. A bit of a slide there too from them, but they all seem to be keeping it under control. Darky already pawning off almost a 1-second gap to Wade, which shows that he really wants to put the pedal to the metal right at the start of this one. As we got Baz is already up 1 place, he wants to gain another place from Jack Craig. So I wonder how they're going to manage their tyres effectively. Now, bearing in mind, those mediums won't last for a long period of time. It lasts, I think, about 5.4% of wear a lap. So these drivers have got to be on their A game, because they know that a one-stop is going to be a lot harder than usual. They're going to try at least, but they've got to make sure that they choose the best strategy possible and put the right amount of fuel in as well, because you don't want to put too little fuel and gambling on a safety car, and it could absolutely hinder you. Anyway, Baz is up another position. He's past Jack Craig from 2 Mercedes powered cars fighting together, and now Baz makes the move stick and stays there as well. Quite a few people out of DRS, but whilst they're out of DRS, it gives us the opportunity to go through the tyre strategy that everyone has gone for this evening. So everybody in the top 4 has gone for mediums. Jake and Scottish Goat has gone for the hard compounded tyres. Jordan has gone for mediums. Tony has gone for hards. Bazza has gone for hard as well, and Jack, and Kai have gone for medium. So there's a little bit of a mixed bag there right now. So I know that the hard compounded tyre runners are just going to be very, very patient with themselves right now, because they really want to get into the flow. They don't want to push themselves too hard too quickly, and I can see that the stream is dropping frames, which is very annoying, and hopefully it does reset itself at some point, but I'm going to leave it as it is, because otherwise it will end up stopping and starting. So just bear with us, guys, but you're just going to have to live with it, unfortunately, with the frame drops. Hopefully it's just like multiple people like using the internet or something like that, but there's a 1-second gap between Darky and Wade. The 2 House are fighting with it as well. We've got Tony fighting Jordan, and we've got Jordan fighting Scottish Goat, and Scottish Goat fighting Jake. So everyone is kind of like in a Jake train, which I find very fascinating. So it will be interesting to find out who's got that pure pace in terms of the dirty air, because it's going to be, I think it's going to cause quite a few issues if they overdo it too much. Deck, in my opinion, is looking quite good on the back of Deck. Deck, I know, is a racer that's very smooth in the application of the steering, so I know he does well in saving his tyres, so he could be a huge threat in terms of the win of this race. But what he's got to do now is he's got to manage his ERS effectively, which he's doing, and Wade is pushing a bit too much in terms of ERS usage, so I think Wade has got a lot of work to do in order to keep Deck behind him. Then we got Gamer James in 4th position, who I think is just about closing up to the likes of Deck, so I wonder what is going to happen there. And Deck is no mean feat. He could defend for his life here around this track, but they all had to make their way, as I think we could see quite a few track limit penalties here this evening, and this could be, I think, a lot harder than expected otherwise in terms of keeping up. And if there's a safety car, well, that could cost people that have got time penalties to their name, including this one. I've been known for causing commentators curses, and unfortunately, it has claimed the first victim of Bazzer, as Jake has ran a bit wide, as Gamer James has got past him right now. But I won't be surprised if he challenges right now, as we've got Deck and Wade going side by side towards turn number 4. Race to the right-hand side. Deck to the left-hand side. It goes side by side towards turn 6. Wade holds it quite nicely, and he keeps ahead of Deck coming through, which is very, very impressive. So well done to Wade for holding it through right now. And obviously, in around Austria, it's a lot harder to go for moves with the dirty air. I think the dirty air is more common around here as well, with just how close everyone is, and they just don't want to go for moves yet. DRS moves are, of course, a lot harder to make on this year's game. So we are going to see, I think, more people being very brave, and this is what Jake's going to try and do, and Scottish Goat as well. We could see 3 wide here as we head towards turn number 3, but that doesn't come into force there, as we got James. He's not going to give up. He's not going to let Jake get the move stick in towards turn number 4. That's where we saw the likes of Albon and Lewis Hamilton come together all those years ago. Scottish Goat to the outside as they're forced wide, which is not ideal, as Tony Parr gets past Jordan as well. So I wonder if Jordan is struggling with his hard compound of tyres to get it up to temperature. So, not up to temperature, to get it cooled down, because you can't stay too close behind another car, because your engine will really overheat. So there might be people that will be running a little bit too further away to make sure the temperatures are at the ideal operating window. Of course, we have got some interesting predicaments, as we got Jack Craig that's out of the race, and we got our first safety car. Now, this could be interesting, because everyone has passed the safety car now. And that does mean the ones that are on the mediums, this has worked really well for them, because they could just pit right on to the hard compound of tyres. But the ones on the hards, they're going to be in a spot of bother unless we get another safety car. Virginia, I wish you were there too, mate. But yeah, a bit going. But hopefully you can join. Virginia, of course, having a few issues with internet the last few days. Hit or miss. So hopefully you can sort it out ahead of race 2 when we get to Silverstone. So everyone is going to make their way to the pit lane now. I think there'll be a few people that will be brave and will, of course, want to stay out. So Darky is going on hard. I won't be surprised. Oh! Scottish Go. Scottish Go has got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh. That is not good, and it's quite common here. Now, I didn't see people go directly into the pits. I know Jack is watching now. I hope Jack has caught an eye on if there are any naughty people. Basically, you've got to commit to the white line coming into the pit lane. If you don't, you will get a free place grid drop, which means obviously if you finish first, you'll drop down to 4th. So, yes, that is a bit unfortunate if people get caught out doing that. What are you doing? I don't know what you're doing, Jack. You binned it. That's probably what you did. But we didn't see what you did on stream. So, you were very lucky there that things could have ended worse for you. But, well, we didn't caught you. It could have been worse if we caught you. I mean, that's what I was trying to say. It's been one of those days. It's been one of those days. So your order, of course, the top 3 yet to stop with Jake in P1. Tony is pitting now. Now, I don't know why. If you want to try and keep on to trap position, there could be another safety car. But Tony is gambling that there could be no safety car. So he comes through into the pit lane. And he's going to go on into the mediums. Yes, he goes on to the medium compounder tyres. And that's going to be a gamble to see if he could get to the end of this Grand Prix. But you never know what could happen. So we've got Jake, Bazza, then Darky, Waze, Deck, James, the Scottish Go, Jordan, Kai, and then Tony. So people are going to still score some really decent points anyway, even without a lot of people here. The safety car is in this lap, so everyone has been caught up very as quickly as they possibly can. Everyone didn't see Darky stop. Okay. So in terms of like if they committed to the pit lane, okay. Well, I said I was going to catch Darky in the pit lane, but I never did. And I caught Waze instead. Anyway, Jake was in control of the restart, and he nailed that restart as he makes his way now in towards the final corner, and we're going green flag racing here in Austria once again, as we could see Basil and Darky fighting side by side. Darky with the fresher rubber. You would expect Darky to really go for the edge and go for the move here. Wade is going to try and do the same thing. Please don't make it free wide towards turn 3, please. Luckily that didn't end in tears, because if it ended in tears, oh my goodness, that would have been an absolute disaster, and I would have been very annoyed. As you can see, Deck going side by side. I think Bazza is struggling with those hard tyres. He's going to hope that there's a safety car as quickly as he can. James dropping through the field as well. But again, there could be quite a lot of things that could happen. Jake doing a lot better than Bazza, who stayed on the hards as well. But we know that Wade is going to catch up very, very soon. So Wade's got ahead of Darky in towards turn 3. So Wade is currently your net race leader. I'm going to stop and start the stream again, because again it's dropping frames. I don't know what is happening tonight. I might have to re-upload the recording and stuff like that. Gamer James, where is he? Gamer James is up into 5th place, and I can't believe the stream didn't catch that. Very frustrating, as we got to change the lead. It's going to be 3 wide, heading in and towards the final corner. Well, not the final corner, in towards turn 3. And Darky has the edge, so did Wade, and so did Deck. So Darky, if you just joined us, welcome along. But we've been having quite a few stream issues tonight, so I'm having to stop and start it just to make sure it doesn't drop frames. So, of course, Jake and Baz have stayed out because, of course, they started on the hard tyres, and they're gambling, obviously, for a safety car. I don't think we're going to have any more. So it is Darky that leads, from Wade in second, Deck in third, Jake in fourth. He's still holding on to fourth really well, so that'll be very, very impressive if he keeps that stay. Scottish Goat in fifth, James sixth, Jordan in seventh, Baz at eighth, Tony Parr in ninth, and Kai comes in, and Kai comes into the pit, and Kai, well, he looked like he was committed to the pit lane. He followed the rules. Good on Kai. So yeah, that's another person ticked off as to they have done their pit stop correctly. You're welcome, Jack. That I caught that. You see, I did catch one Red Bull, but just the Red Bull that you didn't want. So there we go. So yellow flag is set to 1. That is probably Kai coming into the pit lane. So the gap now between Darky and Wade is around about a second. Deck's right behind him. Now that's going to be interesting because we know how Deck has improved a lot on this year's game already as he's trying to adapt to this year's game very effectively here. So he's doing a decent job there. And I'm still seeing the yellow flag. Hopefully it will... I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it will reset itself at some point. Please. Now, Darky just set 1 minute 7.625 on hard compounded tyres. That is, I have to say, insane. I won't be surprised if Scottish Goat is going to try and get past Jake here and towards turn 3. Scottish Goat, another driver that's done quite well this season, but could have done a lot better in terms of racecraft in some races. Takes a really nice line in towards turn number 3. Very nice line. He's using quite a bit of hers, almost running out. And with a dirty air, it's not going to be made easy. Committing to that right-hand side line, the best line in towards turn 4. And nicely done from Scottish Goat. I would expect Jordan and James to try and challenge for the move ASAP. But they're not going to do so yet. They're probably going to do it in turn 3. Bowser just picked himself another penalty. That's going to put him quite a bit down the order if he was to climb his way up the order. But of course, him and Jake are the only ones that need to pit. Lap 14 and 25. We're pretty much halfway into this race already. And we've got Darky that's leading, Wade in second, Deck in third. Let's keep an eye on the ERS usage from the drivers. So we got Jordan going on to the inside of Jake, which he does. Nicely done from him. And I won't be surprised if Jake tries and challenges for the move at some point. Tony goes for the move on Gamer James. Nicely put it, taking candy away from a baby. And we got Tony through, so great job there. And the annoying thing is, the yellow flag thing, caution sector 1, always distracts me, even though there is no yellow flag in sector 1. So there we go. So, as we got Jake that's in the pits. So Jake has come into the pit lane for his one and only stop. He, unfortunately, that gamble of him having another safety car did not pay off. Knowing him, there could be another safety car later on in the race. But he comes out on the set of mediums till the end of the race. He's going to hope that a safety car comes back to save his race. But you never know. Anything could happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. Will those mediums last 10 laps? We'll have to wait and see. Jordan, that promotes him up to 4th place. He's 3.7 seconds behind Deck, but he's just got past Scottish Goat now. And we know those hards can last a bit longer than those mediums. So Jordan is going to be in a much better position compared to the likes of Scottish Goat and Tony Hawk mediums. And we know those mediums won't last a long time. I won't be surprised if we potentially could see a puncher after all this as well. Baz getting another penalty. I'm surprised that I think we've got 5 drivers that got a penalty so far. Speaking of moves, this is a battle for second place on the road, and that's deck through. Now, I will get the penalties for you. Hold on. I need to find the spectator menu. There we go. So, Scottish Goat somehow's got 13 seconds, but don't forget he had a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as Waze does get past deck yet again. So that is deck through. So Darky and Waze have got 3 seconds. So at the moment, Deck is going to get second. But if he wants to win this race, he's got to find 4/10 of a second over Darky. Now, it's a tall order. It is a tall order, but yeah, there we go. Now, of course, I know Darky, he has pitted, but Jack hasn't seen the stop. So I haven't seen the stop either, so we're probably going to have to ask some people to submit their footage in terms of pit stops to see if they are actually fully committed to the line. I've forgotten that Baz still hasn't pitted yet, actually. Baz is still yet to stop. I think if I was him, I would go now. Or is he gambling with a set of softs, maybe? Potentially. But we know how softs last. They don't last long at all on this game on F125. They hardly last a penny. 3/10 of the gap now. If these two are not careful, could allow Jordan back into the mix. And Tony, 2/10 of a second separating him and James. Now, Tony has won a race. I won't be surprised. I know James has started league racing on this year's game. I won't be surprised that in some races that we could see him challenge for the podium, and that would be absolutely insane to watch. It will be absolutely incredible. But James is improving so much since we last saw him at the start of the season. Well, since we first saw him at the start of the season. Apologies. You can see James is going to get tucked into the slipstream. Has hardly got any ERS, so he's going to lose quite a bit of battery power in towards turn 3. But that was a nice move done there. But I do believe Scottish Goat is going to get DRS. So it is Tony. So let's watch Scottish Goat round the right-hand side. I think he's going to make this look easy. But look at this, James with the switchback. James is saying, nope, you're not having that, sunshine. Still going side by side towards turn 6 and 7. Keeping the car on the road. And James takes it. James takes P5. That was a really great move. A big well done to him. That was incredible from him in the Sauber. Scottish Goat did pick up a penalty. So did Tony. If there's a safety car, that could ruin quite a few people's races. But we'll see. And we're just watching this battle unfold. Meanwhile, Deck and Wade's going side by side as well. They can't afford to squabble too much, because bearing in mind, Deck has no penalties. Deck's got to find at least a second to win this race on merit, because of course Darky has got a penalty. Jordan? No, not Jordan. James and Scottish Goat were having a fight again. And so was Tony. If I was Tony, I would play a little bit of a backseat out of all of this. As I think Kai does have a penalty. Yes, he does. So now it adds up to 6. I think there was 6 people having penalties to begin with, which was a bit of a shame. I think, of course, it's a lot harder around Austria to charge the battery. You've got to do a lot of saving, a lot of harvesting. you've got to maybe put it in none in some corners, especially if you head towards turn 3. Speaking of turn 3, we're about to get to that position now as Deck pulls to the right-hand side, but Ray shuts the door yet again. Both on hard compounded tyres, but both on completely different setups. We know Deck has got 41% ERS. So this could be interesting to see who's going to benefit. Will Deck... What Deck wants to do is save a bit of ERS and keep with him even with ERS. And then just burn it with a lap to go. That's probably what he's going to try and do. As we are about to start lap 21 of 25. If you are liking the action, make sure you leave it this video a like and hit the subscribe button and hit that bell if you're new. Again, apologies for the technical issues this evening. Of course, we hope to get that resolved at some point, but blame British internet. I'm in an area where you can't get speeds higher than 6 megabits per second. Upload speed, yes, and with other people using the internet, I've got to turn down the upload speed. Bazza has come into the pit lane on soft tyres. So, soft tyres for Bazza. I did say that if he was just waiting for the soft compounded tyres, praying for a late safety car, but we're not going to get a late safety car, so not going to happen that. Pretty much everyone is pitted now in this race. We'll run for your order then. Excluding penalties, Darky leads from Wade in P2, Deck in 3rd, Jordan 4th, James in 5th, Scottish Goat 6th, Tony in 7th, Jake 8th, Bazza 9th, and Kai in 10th position. So that is your order thus far. Of course, Kai is a lap down. But he's still in this race and he's still going to get quite a bit of points. So that's going to be impressive for Kai. You turn up, you score points. If you finish, you score points, that is. And don't forget, you do get points for the top 5 in qualifying as well. And it is just by being here. And if you're not here, you're not going to score any points. It's as simple as that. We are about to start lap 23 of 25. Deck is just edging a little bit closer on Waze. I think maybe Deck might be in a position just to stay behind, but you never know. There could be penalties that could get removed, but highly unlikely if you're Waze, of course. Because I think he tried to get penalties removed last week. He's run out of report credits to his Waze, so he can't get penalties removed anyway, but you never know. Deck got a really good exit towards turn 4 compared to Waze, so I think Deck was going to challenge him, but he just couldn't get the move. Couldn't get the move stick, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame there. Still 2 more laps to do it. Deck has saved plenty of BRS, so I know he's going to burn it until the cows come home. I would check the warnings, but I am a meanie. I am going to leave it as a surprise. And I think, so of course we'll get no safety cars for now. Jordan will be on for a good 4th, actually. I don't think he's going to get any higher than that. James will be on for 5th. Scottish Goat and Tony are just fighting like tooth to nail at the moment. Scottish Goat to the inside. And Scottish Goat is not going to make this look easy for him. And I think Scottish Goat is just going to keep P6 from Tony. Tony was almost late on the brakes there. That was, I think, very, very tight. We're about to start the final lap of this race with Darky leading. I think Darky's going to win this one unless he just can't afford to get another penalty. Darky can't afford to get another penalty. You know what? I'm not going to say too much more because when I say a lot about him, I jinx him and he gets very annoyed. So I'm going to shut up from then on and watch Deck and Waze. This is Deck's final chance to get him on track. But I wonder, is Deck going to play it safe or does he want to get P2 on track? To the right-hand side he goes. And I think this is going to be a move of the century for Deck. And Deck's up into second. Tony up into sixth. Scottish Goat. All side by side again. Nope, he tucks to behind him once more. But look at this. Could be a late lunge for Scottish Goat as Tony had the edge, but not anymore. Still side by side, but we have to watch the battle for the win in a minute. Here comes Darky. He's going to win the Austrian Grand Prix. Deck's going to come across the line in second with Waze in third. Jordan fifth. James will come across the line in sixth. But we still got a side-by-side actually across the line between Scottish Goat and Tony. Who's going to have the upper hand? On track, it's going to be Tony. I think Scottish Goat has got a 13-second penalty anyway, so he is going to drop down quite a bit. Yes, Jake moves up to 6th, Tony 7th, Scottish Goat 8th, and Bazza will slot himself into 9th spot. And of course, Kai being last. A lap down, but still finished this race. So, well done him. So I said to Darky, be smooth with the wheel. And that's what he did. He was in control from the start. He had one penalty and he didn't get any penalties or warnings since. Good job on him. And he got fastest lap as well. Very good pace. So, we'll run for your order then. So, Darky wins from Deck. Then we got Waze, Jordan, a Gamer James, Jake, Tony, Scottish Goat, Bazza, Kai are your finishers. And your retirement, unfortunately, is Jack Craig. So, we hope you enjoyed that. I definitely did. It was really, really great to commentate on. And if you do like the content, make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell if you are new. Because we still got one more race still to go here this evening. And we have got the lovely British Grand Prix, which is very, very iconic. And you do not want to miss the British Grand Prix. The British Grand Prix was first held as a race back in 1950, the inaugural race of the F1 World Championship. And this track has only won 4 Grand Prix from the first year of the Formula 1 World Championship to remain a part of today's F1 calendar. The others being Monaco, Spa and Monza. And the layout of Silverstone has undergone significant changes over the years, mostly in a bid to reduce speed and increase safety. Many parts of the circuit that they got to be aware of. Albion Farm, those corners flat out. High 7th gear, make sure you minimise the traction. And also the difficult corners, the loop. It's difficult because of the traction on the exit of the corner, and could be a lot of aggressive battles through there. Luffield, another corner which is difficult for drivers on traction. You got to get the turning right through there. Could be a potential oversteer. Cops, tricky for track limits. Maggots and Beckett's, hard for some people, but very satisfying if you get it right. Of course, Maggots and Beckett's for me is one of my favourite corners on the game. It is amazing. And if people think, oh no, Maggots and Beckett's is absolutely rubbish on this game. No, you've just got to be, I think, very precise with the gearing, and you got to know where you're turning in, because otherwise you could be in a spot bother. And so I think this could be, quite an entertaining race, because I think everybody loves Silverstone, even me. I love Silverstone. Of course, I won my last ever league race on F1 24 around Silverstone. Don't want to brag or anything, but it's true. We got Martinio that's back in at the lobby, so that is very great to see. Hopefully he could join us, and hopefully his internet doesn't play havoc anymore. So of course the drivers are allowed a 2-minute break now, and we do have, I believe we have one-shot qualifying. Yes, we do. One-shot qualifying then for the drivers here this evening around Silverstone. There are plenty of opportunities for, I think, quite a few drivers to invalidate their runs if they're not careful. So I believe the host is readied up, so we should be good to go. We should be good to go very, very soon. So fasten your seatbelts, everybody. The drivers have been told to ready up. Let's know your predictions, chat, on who you think is going to be doing well. Who do you think is going to do well around Silverstone? I'm going to be intrigued. And of course, at least people don't have to worry about the lines into the pit lane. And I've just had an interesting fact from Jack Craig. Darky moves to the top 10 wish list. No, not win list. I don't know why I said wish list. Win list in the Dive Bomb F1. So there we go. Very special moment. Very special moment. One-shot qualifying is going to be intense. I was just taking a little bit of a break there whilst we were getting going. So let's change scenes. At the moment, it is a sunny day in the Royal Airfield base of Silverstone. Of course, I commentated around Silverstone in real life a few weeks ago, which was a lot of fun. Many venues hosted the British Grand Prix back in the day. One of which was Brands Hatch, and another one was Donington Park, 1993, of course, which I remember quite vividly to be a quite entertaining Grand Prix. So we are about to get underway. Let's see how they're going to do. Let's go on board with James, because we hardly ever go on board with James for this. So he makes his way through Aberdeen in towards Farm and Village. He could have won a bit more wide there. Third gear as he takes a little bit of exit curb. So he decides to go into second gear. Now in towards with a Wellington straight, where we can see quite a few overtakes. DRS open again in towards Brooklands. Fourth gear, using a lot of that curb. Make sure you Go very tight on entry as you enter into left field. Now in towards Woodcut. Now, flat right-hander, shouldn't pose too much problems. Now in towards Cops Corner, which is the old turn 1. Allow for overtaking opportunity on this game, it can be taken flat out. However, in dirty air, track limits could pose a problem. Maggots and Beckett, flat out. Honestly, if you get it flat out, it is very good. And if you're very lucky, you can take Chapel flat out too. But I haven't seen to master Chapel flat out yet. Through towards the hangar straight, in towards the really hard braking zone. 5th gear or 6th gear. Could have taken a bit more speed through there, in towards, I can't remember the corners. Vale and then Club. There we go. Vale, then Club. Then towards the Hamilton straight. The time's going to be a 1:27.6 for Darky. But for Gamer James, it's a 1:29.2. So, that is your order then for one-shot qualifying around the British Grand Prix. I think we've had quite a few invalidations. And there were some people that were left very disappointed with their performance. So, we'll go for your order now then. So, Darky, from Vitinho, Jake, Jordan, Bazza, Jack, Tony, Deck, James, Kai, and then Wade and Scottish Goat, unfortunately invalidated. And just watch, I think, for a bit of complaints in the chat about that one in terms of invalidations. But Darky produced a lap time 4/10 quicker than everybody else. I don't know what I would have done in one shot. Because I think I would have been similar pace to Darky, but that would have been short, not one shot. And it is one shot slow on this game. So I probably would have been the same pace as Vitinho, but I don't know. I don't know. But some good lap times for our drivers as we are about to load in. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness I'm not racing tonight because we got rain. We have got rain. Oh my god, it does look beautiful, the rain on this game, to be fair. But again, I wouldn't want to be the one racing around it. Good luck to all the drivers. You're going to need it. I mean, there's going to be quite a lot of people in the Silverstone Grandstand that are going to get their ponchos out. I really do mean it this time. And according to the chat, it is going to be heavy rain. I'm going to ask if it's for the entire race as well. Is it for entire race? If it is, then yeah, I hope drivers have got a wet setup because otherwise they're going to struggle here. And I've just been informed, oh no, I've just been informed by Jack that there's going to be heavy rain for the entire race. So, if there's drivers listening to the stream at the same time, then yeah, you're going to have to deal with heavy rain the whole race. 5 red lights, here we go, we're underway in a soggy Silverstone. Darky is struggling for traction already, but Vitinho is keeping Jake for company at the moment. Jake doing very well in P3 for now, but can he hold on? Now in towards Abby. Up as we've got quite a bit of things going on in towards the loop. Oh my god! Did we just see Jake flip on someone? If it was real life, thank goodness for the halo. Thank goodness for the halo. Oh my goodness, that made me jump. Now, I think we are going to see who's made the right stuff today in terms of wet weatherness. So we've got Dark from Martini, from Jake, from Jordan, from Bazza. It is a shaken up grid, but there might be people that are good in the dry but rubbish in the wet, or vice versa. We're going to see if they made the right stuff today. As Waze gets past a game of James, or maybe not. A few people struggling in the background. You can see the visibility is very hard. Thank goodness, I think I've got particles on. Off, should I say off? I think I've got particles off, so the visibility for PS drivers will probably be a bit more difficult. Waze goes for a great movement towards the hangar straight. So there he goes. Darky's already pulled off a massive gap to Vitinho. Now, don't forget, because it's a wet race, they can stay on the full wets for pretty much the entire race if they want to. As Darky just set the fastest lap of the race so far. Of course it is, because won lap 1. Jordan, I have to say, looking quite impressive in the wets, because he's right on the back of Jake now. No DRS enabled in the wet. So you've got to rely on pure pace here. Jordan taking quite a lot of curb as we make our way in towards the loop. You don't want to have the car unsettled though. The dirty air is going to be, I think, a bit more difficult to manage, especially with the spray. Can Jordan go for the move? He's not going to yet. I think there'll be a few people trying to be patient when it comes to moves today in terms of engine temperatures. And, of course, with it being wet for the whole race, they won't have all wet tyres available. So they're going to hope that they don't get involved in some sort of incident. I don't know why I've got the tyres up, because it is kind of obvious what tyres people are on right now. They're on the wet on the wet tyres. There you go. Wet compound the tyres, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, Jordan, I think he's going to go for the lunge in towards the Stowe corner, and I think that was a move that I would not expect. I thought he would have gone to the other side, but Jordan playing it smart here around Silverstone, and he's up into the podium places, and that was very tactical from him. So Jordan now going to chase down Vitinho for second place. Is he going to do it, or is he going to make things life a bit more difficult? He's going to hope that he can do it. Jack Craig looking quite good on the wets. He's on the back of Bazza, as Jack Craig has used quite a bit of battery. He's on 40% right now. Bazza, what battery is he on at the moment? He's got quite a lot of battery left, so Bazza could try and defend for his life here, but he's also going to try and attack Jake. So what would you do if you're in Bazza's situation? I don't know. We've got Scottish Goat past Waze. Well, not past Waze. He is already past Waze, but he's got Waze closing him in. Scottish Goat, he's chasing down Tony. Trying to get my words quite difficult tonight. It's absolutely insane. But 3.3 second gap is Darky and Vitinho. That's going to probably stay there for quite a bit right now. Let's hope people have got their ponchos right there on the grandstands. And one thing I wish for the things to happen, I kind of wish there was, what do you call it? I kind of wish we could see what tyre life everyone's at. 'Cause it's hard to gauge, really. Because, yes, the game says, oh, it's going to last the entirety of the race. But 9 times out of 10, people are going to try and gamble for a 0 stop and probably go for the 1 stop. It's a very hard decision, because we have, like, of course, no safety cars. And if you're leading the race, you don't have a gauge about what's going on. The further you're on, you're going to see what the other drivers are doing and thinking, should I do the same? And you're going to have that option to do so. Now, we got a three-way fight for 4th. This is going to be exciting. But as I have to say, has improved quite a lot, as in terms of this game, I think suits him a bit more. He seems to be a bit more consistent in terms of pace in quite a lot of tracks. This is a track where I feel like he's good in the wet. In quite a lot of races on F125, when he's in the wet, he's good. But sometimes if there's a safety car, he could get screwed or something. But in the wet, he's good. And he's showing that at the moment. But I think Jake has pulled off quite a bit of a gap to Bazza right now. And I think it may just be Bazza and Jack fighting, and then Jack fighting Jake. That's almost a little bit of a tongue twister there, but there we go. Things happen. These things happen. And someone has reminded me that it's my mum's birthday in about a few weeks. Yes, I know. Moonpig.com, what do you call it? But anyway, we are finding a situation where it... Oh my God. Was I not talking for so long? I was not talking for quite a bit. Oh God. Oh God. I must have pressed something. If I don't know how long I wasn't talking for, but hopefully I wasn't not talking for that long because I was talking to myself. The stream has had quite a few technical difficulties tonight, but we are living with it. We are living with it, which is good. As we can see, I think Czech Wade has passed Scottish Goat, so Czech Wade is up into 8th place. Now, how long will these wet tyres last? I do not know. So the question is, they're going to take that gamble once more. Yeah, the gap's been increased now. There's not much happening out there on track right now. So I think it's going to be, for a lot of these drivers, a test of damage limitation at the moment. As a bit of a slide for Jordan there. But he's doing quite well to hold on. He's pulled up a 4.7 second gap to Jake. But he's really closing in on Vitinho. Jordan is looking very good in these wet conditions. And Tony's looking quite good as well. But I think, as I said that, Tony had, lost a bit of pace coming up through the final few corners, and that's allowing Wade and Scottish Goat to be in the train. There are multiple trains happening right now around this circuit. The choo-choo train. How are people going to do remains to be seen. I forgot to pick driver of the day for, what do you call it? Austria. Darky's driver of the day for Austria, before you ask. As that was a save there for, who was it? Bazza. Yeah, it was Bazza there. That had a bit of a slide again. So I think that could have ended a lot worse. But I wonder if Jack Craig could have took an advantage there. Which he decided not to. He wanted to play it a bit more safe, which is fair enough. In towards the National Pitch Straight. Fun fact, I commentated on the National Pitch Straight in the rain. And it was absolutely shucking it down. And I had a coat and... yeah. Luckily we were stood by a gazebo. Which was quite... it was good that we were sheltered, I have to say that. It was nice that we're sheltered. Oh, Jack! You took quite a bit more curb than you should do. And Jack got a penalty for it. Naughty, naughty, naughty Jack. I think we could see quite a few drivers have a few more issues because of that as well. Look at the gap that Darky's pulling to Vitinho. Vitinho is struggling. But there's one driver that's not struggling, and that is Jordan. Jordan is on fire. He's saving a bit of VRS. He's got a bit more traction, as you can see. He's taking a bit more curb as well, coming out. Oh, as they hit each other. I wonder, does Jordan have a bit of front wing damage? Because I think I did see a bit of end plate fall out of Jordan's car. I hope that's not caused too much trouble, as I think Jordan's going to try and go for the move here. We'll see if the gap comes down. It's not coming down massively, so I think he's all right. Waze, though, wants to get past Tony. He does that quite comfortably. I won't be surprised, but a lot of these drivers do decide to stick it out and want to stay out, because if they don't stay out and pit, but everyone else stays out and makes it work, then their gamble, of course, wouldn't pay off. So I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very, very intricate in terms of time management. They can't push it 100% all the time, like I was saying earlier. I'm looking at Wade's fuel, by the way. He's on orange. Now, does he know that there's no safety cars in a 25% race? I hope he remembers, please. As Darky just set the fastest lap of the race, 1:43.20. What was it? I can't remember what it was now. And as I said, there was not much happening. There was more happening right now, as we got a train forming. On board the Jake train with Bazza, Jack, who's got the penalty, Wade as well, that's going to join in the fray. I think Wade is going to be the one that has a huge advantage here and will pounce. James has gone into the pit lane. I didn't think he would go into the pits. Interesting. Intermediates. Intermediate tyres for James. Is it inters? Doesn't look like it. Actually, it might be. It might be inters. If you're listening to the stream, don't get my judgment. Just trust on your judgment, okay? But I hardly see any standing water, but it's still chucking it down on the camera. So I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I think it's still full wets to me, but there's no standing water. It is really up to the drivers on whether they gamble and stay out, or go on inters, or even go on fresh wets. Yeah, that definitely still looked like full wets to me. Even though there's no standing water, it definitely still looked like full wets. And you can see Darky setting the fastest lap, which means that he's still got the pace even on full wets. So yeah, Deck's struggling on those full wet tyres with Scottish Go. Of course, Deck finished second in the last race. I think he's only going to finish 9th, which won't be in an ideal situation. Still got a few laps to go. Still opportunities for people to make mistakes, and you never know what could happen. So, Darky and Vitinho, 14.6 seconds. I'm surprised Jordan hasn't been brave and gone for the move yet. Even with the end plate damage, he's still got some very good pace. So, Jordan is going to try and go for the move up the inside, up to the left, through Brooklands, clips that curb. Kisses the curb like your favourite granny. Tries to cut round the outside. And I think he's going to stay behind for now. Yes, he does. Waze does get past Bazza. Or does he? Oh, Waze, like a bit of a slide. He almost hit him. He almost hit him, but that was a save. That was a save. That could have ended up in contact. But thank goodness it didn't. Jay's going to love this, that these two are fighting. Oh, as those twos go off. Oh, no. That could have been a disaster for them. No, don't go free wide into Maggots and Beckett's, please. As Wade has got a penalty. Bazza's had an off. Jack Cray's got past him. Chaos is erupting here in Silverstone. And I think the gap was about 8 tenths. Now, Waze and Jack and Bazza lost about a second because of that. And Wade has got to try and lift and coast because he's still on yellow fuel. So him, with that and having a penalty, it's not ideal. Anyone else dangerous to close to running low on fuel? Tony. Tony and Wade, and that's it, I think. What about James? James is fine, but he's using quite a bit of hers. As we got Jordan, almost got the move done there. Jordan is not giving up, and he's got like loads of ERS, more than he wishes. I think he's got to burn it, because in the wet you pretty much you can charge the ERS quite quickly. So you can use quite a bit. Of course, you can only use quite a bit per lap, yes, but as I think we just saw, did we see Deck go for a move or something past Tony? Yes, he did. So Deck and Tony having a little bit of a fight in the background. Nice run for Jordan passing to Cop's corner. Very impressive. Very impressive. Haas doing quite well today. Jordan doing quite well overall. How will he handle for the rest of the season? Because he only became full-time last week? Yeah, he became full-time last week, and he's already bringing up a good impression. In towards Stowe, round the outside. And Bettina's not going to make it that easy for Jordan. Jordan's going to go for another attack into Vale. Switch back into Club. This could be a breakthrough moment for Jordan. Side by side, it's towards the Hamilton straight. Looks like Bettina's got it, but Jordan gets a better run in towards Abbey. Contact. Hopefully, both of them don't push each other off the road. This is very great racing. We got Jordan. Oh, slide. I think he's got this. Jordan's through. Jordan is through. Jordan's past Patino up into second place. That was a very entertaining battle. I really enjoyed that. Yellow flag. Who was that? Was that Kai trying to slow down to lap himself? I don't know. Hopefully it's not anybody else. Deck has passed Basil, by the way, so I wonder if Basil's got quite a bit of damage, or is he struggling on 11 lap old wets? We don't know. Unfortunately, the gamble for James to go on to Inters is not a good one, unfortunately. So that's a shame. Don't forget, if you are liking the action, make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, because there's still quite a bit of action to happen around this circuit. Still plenty of things that can go right and plenty of things that could go wrong. Scottish Goat, even though he's got a penalty, he tries to make his way past Tony with ease. So he's through. So on the penultimate lap of this race, I think this could be the biggest gap we've seen in a long time. And will we head to a record where Darky will move up even more in the wins list? That'll be insane. And Darky will close up in the championship. And Darky could be a title contender. Very, very exciting. And honestly, I'm a person that likes to see more people in the title fight, because that honestly, that would be incredible. As we can see a lovely helicopter shot as we make our way towards Cop's corner. And we can see a lovely paddock shot as well. I think Bettino is doing his best to catch up to Jordan again, but Jordan just has the pure pace. Jack Craig did get past Waze. We did not see that, but Jack Craig did get past Waze whilst we were watching that battle earlier on. So, oh, I think Jack could have the edge here past Jake. And I think Deck's going to try and do the same potentially. Jake's doing some really great defending as we make our way towards the final lap. If I was Jake, maybe I would let this go and make sure that you stay within 3 seconds. That's what I would do. As long as Jake doesn't go past. Oh, as Deck does get past, it was crucial that Deck did get past there, because otherwise Deck will lose quite a bit of ground there. So we got Darky, who's heading towards Luffield. Brooklyn and Luffield for the final time of asking. Darky has driven a sensational race. Has Jake run out of fuel? Or is he just sliding everywhere and just struggling for grip? Or has he got a puncher? I wonder... Has he got a puncher? Oh... That's very hard to tell. And Wade has gone off. Wade has gone off. Right, I don't know if he might have got a puncher that we didn't say. But anyway, let's cross we bridge when we get to it, and he can tell me what happened, because I'm still confused, to be honest. So Darky is gonna get 2 wins in one night. A man that was struggling for race pace over the last few races is going to redeem himself and get 2 wins out of 2. The biggest gap we've seen in Dive Bomb F1 for a long time. Darky wins in Silverstone. But I have to say, my drive of the day... Sorry, it's not going to be Darky for this race. He's already got it in Austria. But my drive of the day has got to be Jordan. He's only had the game for a few weeks. In his 3rd week in Dive Bomb F1, comes and finished on the podium in 2nd place. Made a great move on Vitinho, and it stayed there. Jack Craig with a great performance in P4. I would say Jack Craig is a close 2nd, to be honest, in terms of driver of the day. Actually, Deck gets 4th. Because of penalties, I forgot about penalties. Bazza gets 6th. Scottish go 7th. Tony slots himself into 8th place. We got someone going very slowly. That might be Wade. I think Wade has run out of fuel there. James almost got past Jake, but by 8/100 pounds. But yeah, I wonder if either Jake's run out of fuel or puncher. Oh. What has happened to Wade? He's got a damaged front wing somewhere, and he's probably got a puncher. Or his wheel disconnected, I don't know. But he's going very slowly. Yeah, he's definitely run out of fuel. He wouldn't be going that slowly otherwise. He would probably try and speed up. Or try and prove me wrong and go faster ways. Go on. Nope, he's ran out of fuel. He's ran out of fuel. That's what you get when you think there's a safety car, but in the rules, there's no safety car in 25% races. So there you go. So we're just going to watch him go very slowly and in towards the final few corners. What a shame for Wade, actually. I think the race for him could have been a lot better. But he's going to try and finish this race, because obviously with only 12 drivers in this race, more opportunities for points. And he's going to be... I think he's already lapped, isn't he? Yes, he's already lapped in-game as well. But we'll go for your order then, whilst Wade tries to cross the line. So, Darky wins from a Jordan in 2nd, Vitinho 3rd, Deck 4th, Jack Craig 5th, Bazza 6th, Scottish Goat 7th, Tony 8th, Jake 9th, and I'm missing out all the buttons, I do apologise. James 10th, Wade in 11th, and yeah, the game just didn't like that. I think they gave him a DNF after that, but there we go. All probably being a lap down. But Darky is a race winner, but my driver of the day for Silverstone has got to be Jordan, who finished in 2nd. So, well done, Jordan. You are my driver of the day. Congratulations. Hopefully Jack will make a note of that. But, because Jack wants to see the gaps, and who got driver of the day and all that. So here are the gaps for you in terms of penalties. 142.4. He was about 2 seconds quicker than everybody else. Insane. I don't think I would have managed that. So fair play to Darky there for doing an incredible job. Just maintaining that pace at a gap of 18.5 seconds, which is incredible. Jordan's had the game since it came out. Sorry, Jordan. I do apologise. But honestly, fair play to him. Absolutely incredible pace. I can't wait to see what he does next week. But next week, I believe it's Hungary and Belgium if I'm not too mistaken. I might be wrong, but let me have a look. Actually, we can get the calendar up now. Belgium and Hungary. I got it right, but just the wrong way round. So that's next week. Belgium and Hungary. It's going to be exciting. Make sure you join us for round... I'm losing count on how many rounds, to be honest. But make sure you join us then. I've been Jess Ball. If you haven't already, make sure you leave us a like and hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell if you're new. Sorry if you... sorry about the technical difficulties for the Austria race. The internet deciding to cause havoc. And I don't know why. Luckily, though, it fixed itself for Silverstone, which was great. So I'm really glad it's fixed itself for Silverstone. But apologies if you had technical difficulties from Austria. So see you next week, everybody. I'm going to have a bit of a lie down after this. We hope you enjoyed the race. See you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.